Hello everybody, welcome to Key West for race number 6 of this week-long event of racing. This will be the Super Boats, Super Cats, and Super Cat Lights. It's been a long week, and the Concord Public Offshore Powerboat Racing Association has done a fantastic job of putting this race together with Superboat International, the Offshore Super Series, and APBA Offshore. Lots of teams here to compete, including all 10 of the Super Cats are here this week putting on a great show. The footage we're showing now is the boats getting ready to head out towards the parade on Sunday afternoon, right before all the racing action started earlier in the week. There you see Bourget, WHM, world-famous bike builder Roger Bourget, and Joey Gratton at the helm of this 40-foot skater with Mercury power and drives. Should be a great week of excitement and racing here in Key West. Very excited for everybody to be here. There you see the freeze-frame video tent and trailer selling all the old VHS tapes and some of the newer DVDs. Lots of old, fantastic footage there available if anybody's looking for that stuff. You can see Tomcat Racing's reliable carriers, one of the contenders in the Super Cat class, raced the Offshore Super Series all year. But here in Key West, do battle for the overall crown of world championships amongst the SBI, OSS, and APBA. Tom Abrams and Jerry Gilbreth aboard reliable carriers. There's Showtime, one of the Super Cat Light entries. It's a 36-foot skater out of the Virginia area. Visconti Companies owns Popeye. There's Bacardi Silver in the Superboat class. David Scott and John Tomlinson at the controls of Bacardi Silver. There you can see the crew of Popeye cleaning everything up for the parade this afternoon. There's the JD Byrider 40-foot skater. Tony Marcantonio and Kirk Donovan will be the pilots of this vessel for the week, powered by CC Racing engines with Herring and Weissman number 6 drives. There's Hidden Agenda, Roy Schrader and Chris Carmody. All the way from Texas, it's another 40-foot skater. There's JEM Companies Limited, a 40-foot motion with twin Mercury 750 horsepower Super Cat engines with number 6 drives. Drives by Offshore Outdrives, rigging by Grant's Custom Rigging, with the help from Smitty's Marine lately aboard JEM Companies. Jay Muller's your throttle man. Stan Prokroski's the driver this week. There's a super stock entry getting ready for the parade. That's Continental Industrial Services with Recycle America S111, owned by Double Edge Motorsports of Orlando, Florida. The driver's Mark Hanna. Throttle man's Ryan Beckley. The crew chief's Roxy Hanna, Mark's wife. Freeze frame video, one of the sponsors of Continental Industrial Services, along with Colabella Performance, Offshore Concepts, and AMT Powerboats. There's the Big Thunder. It's a 46-foot skater with 4 1,000 horsepower supercharged engines, 4 Mercury number 6 drives. There you can see Sue and Bob Morgan up in the cockpit there. They had a traumatic first day of racing in Key West with a fire aboard the boat. Still managed to finish in second place and work on the boat all week to get it ready to race again here on Saturday. Big Thunder Marine Racing all the way from Missouri on the Lake of the Ozarks. There's the Black Pearl, one of your Super V entries, piloted by David Peterson and Bob Oliver. you see In Motion, one of the Super Cat Light entries of Jerry Sorrentino, all the way from California. Alvin Heathman is the throttle man. Jory Sorrentino is the driver. In Motion, 36-foot skater. IMCO drives with the Mercury 525 engines. Beautiful skyline at Key West there. You see the Ocean Key House, one of the best vantage points for the races. There's the Pier House, the Hyatt in the background, and then the famous Galleon Marina where all the pits used to be for all the races. In the milling area now, you see the Superboat Cats, Callan, Big Thunder, Paradise, and Bacardi Silver. Also racing today will be the Super Cats, the 10-boat fleet in Super Cat class, as well as the Super Cat Lights. Another big fleet in that class too, with 8 boats. Here we go, getting the Super Boats on plane, getting ready to go here at the start of the race. This is Super Boats and Super Cats. At the green flag, we have lots of boats heading out to the early start. There you see, here come the Super Cats now. This is a nice even fleet, 10 boats. Great racing action here. Team Virgin all the way on the inside, making their comeback appearance all the way far on the outside. Looks like Reliable Carriers shot out to a little bit of a lead early on at the start of the race. Right in the middle of the screen, the white boat, that's Popeye, Dominic Visconsi, Jim Dyke. All the way on the outside is Reliable. Right in the middle of the screen, the green and blue and white boat, that's Pro Marine, Randy Sissom, Todd Warner aboard. But right now, the 2 boats in the front of the pack here on Saturday's race, Reliable Carriers and Popeye, with Team Virgin, Pro Marine just behind. Reliable Carriers, Jerry Gilbreth, Tom Abrams out to the early lead, but Popeye chasing. Right behind them is the Live Bait with Gary Nichols and William Moore aboard. Reliable Carriers heading into the first turn in the lead with a slight lead. Jim Dyke, Dominic Visconsi in their Platinum Powerboat. Popeye with Sterling Power, Mercury number 6 drive. Did a lot of work to get the boat back ready for this race after flipping it in the last race in Grand Haven, Michigan. Trying to keep up with their trend. They finished 2nd place in the last race on Wednesday, so they're trying to keep up, maybe move up a spot to finish in the points, trying to go past Reliable Carriers right now, head into the bumpy section of the course. This is Saturday's race, Super Cats in Key West at the Offshore World Championship.